Welcome back to my channel, The Movie Optimist, where I try and find the silver linings in even the worst of films. This weekend, I had a party at my house called the Happy Gilmore 2 Party, where I invited all of my friends over and we ate a lot of food and enjoyed this movie. And let me tell you, when this movie was first announced, we were all really excited because the first Happy Gilmore is such a staple amongst me and my friends. We love all of Adam Sandler's movies, even the bad ones, but Happy Gilmore is definitely at the top of this list. And I am shocked to sit here and tell you that this is not a bad movie, which is definitely a big fear I had going into watching this. Not only is this not just a lame excuse at Netflix trying to make a nostalgia play to get viewership numbers, it has a lot of heart to it and a good reason for him coming back after all of these years. Essentially in the film, right off the bat, something really tragic happens to Happy while he's playing golf, and he makes a promise to never play again because of what happened. However, 15 years later, when his daughter gets accepted into a very fancy dance academy in France, he needs to find a way to make like $300,000 to put her through the program, and what better way than re-enlisting back into golf and face his demons so that he could raise money and put his daughter through this dance academy. However, once he joins, he also realizes that he's not just playing for the future of his daughter, but for the future of traditional golf, because in this new day and age where kids have short attention spans and people are watching all these TikTok videos, there's this up-and-coming golfer that wants to reinvent the game and make it more fast-paced. Instead of 18 holes, it's 7 holes, and there's a lot more going on. Like, you got to go through obstacle courses, and it becomes kind of like American Ninja Warrior on top of golf, and then you have like cheerleaders on the sidelines, and he wants to make it way more of like a TikTok era of golf. And if Happy and his 4 teammates that he joins his tournament with loses, then traditional golf is going to go away, and this new maxi golf, as they call it, is going to be the new dominant golf. And he's really fighting for the old ways as well as his daughter. And like I said before, look, when I first heard that this was announced, I really did think like this is just a cheap, I hate to use the term cash grab, because, well, on one hand, every movie is a cash grab. They're all in the business of making money, but on the other hand, it's a Netflix movie, so it's not going to make any money at all. It's really to appease the subscribers that Netflix already has. But it just seemed like a way that Netflix was trying to boost viewership numbers with something nostalgia-ridden, like a Happy Gilmore. So I was really nervous. Plus, you couple that with the fact that Adam Sandler doesn't really like to act in his own written and directed movies anymore. Like, all the movies he makes for Netflix, The Ridiculous Six and Murder Mystery and all of them, it seems kind of like he's hamming it up a little bit. And the only time I really get a good performance out of Adam Sandler is when it's something like an Uncut Gems from the Safdie brothers, which, fun fact, one of them is the bad guy in this film. And he's also never done a sequel before, outside of like Murder Mystery with Jennifer Aniston, which wasn't that good, if I'm being honest. But I don't know, I kind of just had this fear that it was Netflix just throwing a ton of money at him, and he was like, all right, I'll do it. And we were going to get that same level of performance from him in this. And although a bad Happy Gilmore sequel doesn't tarnish the original, it would be a shame to come back and revisit this world where they didn't have anything meaningful to say or do, and Adam Sandler was just hamming it up. But they did not do that. This is Happy Gilmore at his finest. It's an older Happy Gilmore. This movie was also really funny. If you don't think Adam Sandler movies are funny, then sure, you're probably gonna roll your eyes at a lot of the jokes, because it is a lot of like potty humor and like violent funny things. But me and my friends were laughing pretty much throughout the entirety of this movie. The reason behind Happy coming back to golf was also so heartfelt, because really at its core, on one hand, it was about the lengths that a father would go for his family, but it was also touching upon dealing with grief and your inner demons and alcoholism. And there was a lot of really serious themes to this movie that I appreciated. Like, it genuinely felt like Adam Sandler had something to say, and he kind of manifested that in a Happy Gilmore 2, and it just worked. Now, this movie isn't perfect. It's not a perfect movie. Not all the jokes land, obviously. Some of them are kind of corny, but you still kind of laugh at it because you just love Adam Sandler. You get the same Happy that you got originally. Like, there's still the fist fights that you want in this. There's the potty humor. There's the Happy Gilmore golf swing that you want. Everything about the original is brought back here and done really well, if I'm being honest. The movie does get overshadowed sometimes by the amount of cameos in it. You have Post Malone, you have Eminem, you have tons and tons and tons and tons of cameos, including famous golfers from all over the world. And sometimes it does feel like Cameo the movie with the amount of people that are in it, but none of them are there for like a paycheck. At least it doesn't seem like it. It seems like everyone that's a part of this movie wanted to be a part of it because it's a Happy Gilmore movie, and they all brought their A game, and everyone seemed like they were having a blast. The biggest issue I had with the movie is its ask of us suspending a lot of disbelief in terms of how the laws of physics work. The bad guys in this film, the enemy golfers that Happy's going up against, have this thing with them that I won't spoil here in this review, but it gives them an edge on how they play golf, and I'm just like, all right, we're going a little bit into the sci-fi realm here. And then there's also the suspension of disbelief of like what cops would do in this world. Like there's a person that gets attacked by a bunch of alligators and everyone just laughs it off. No cops show up, nothing. Like there's no repercussions of that happening. And it did feel a little too silly. Like, okay, like you could believe that this took place in the real world until things like that happen, and that kind of pulls you out of it. But outside of the overabundance of cameos and the suspension of disbelief that this movie asks you, I had a blast. I really just felt really good watching this movie, and not for nothing, our world kind of sucks right now, and it feels really good to just get to hang out with old friends again. That's how watching this movie felt. I felt like I was hanging out with an old friend I haven't seen in a long time, and I just had a big smile on my face throughout the entirety of this film. If you're a Happy Gilmore fan or an Adam Sandler friend, get together with your friends, get together with your kids, sit down and watch this movie. It has beautiful messages about family, about friendship, about grief, and I think it's definitely worth your time. I'm gonna give this movie an 8 out of 10. It pretty much delivered exactly what I wanted it to. I wish it didn't go as over the top as it did with some of the laws of physics, but you know, that's just Adam Sandler being silly and trying to get us to laugh, and for that I commend him. I loved this film, and I hope that you love it too. Anyway guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Did you watch Happy Gilmore 2 this weekend? Has my review given you a reason to watch it or not want to watch it? Let's talk about it down in the comments below, and as always guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll catch you next time.